On this episode, Center for Newcomers.
If I get stuck on any one view of the world, I actually can't do my work.
Welcome to Road to Hope. I'm your host, Bianca Jade. It's not always easy to reach out for help when one is struggling with their mental health. Right here in Edmonton, a local worker has dedicated her career to helping new immigrants and refugees as they battle PTSD.
One of the difficulties for people from other cultures is that they are not familiar and used to the mental health system like we operate in the West. And for them, often there's a lot of stigma attached to accessing mental health services. She said that it's a little bit difficult since you arrived for you with sleeping. Arriving here in Canada is very stressful for everybody, and you might have a lot to deal with, and it might be nice to talk to somebody. And there are people here, my colleagues, they are really good to talk to. Many families come here, they have no extended family. So for a mom to come who maybe has 2 or 3 little ones and access psychological services is very difficult. So we have childcare, which we can access. This is our play therapy room. A lot of it is quite generic, which you might find in any play therapy room, but you might also see we do have some ethno-specific props for kids to play with. For the African kids, we would have dolls which actually reflect how they look and how their moms look. A little African boy I worked with actually for about 1.5 years, and he would basically not talk to me in the beginning when he came in. But what he did is, I introduced him to the room, and so he felt safe enough that he wanted to come back, and he would walk in the door and go straight for the sandbox. And for the first few months, it was like as if I had no other props than the soldiers. After a while, he slowly started also talking to me or telling me what he was setting up here. And then slowly he started using other props. So, by the end, what you would see in his sand tray was very, very different from the beginning. We also have access to interpreters. So if there's a language barrier, we have people which we trust, which are trained to work with us, so that they are more of an enhancement. For immigrants, often the main things are that, they came here with a lot of education, thinking that their education would be valued, and then they find out that it's not, that their degrees, have no value here, and it's a real struggle to build a life, and often they left families at home. For refugees, of course, it's the horror and the losses they have endured, and they continue to endure. And so part of the family might be back home, might be still suffering, or might still be dying. And that all of that is still going on, and that you feel like you have a responsibility to support them while you're struggling here, which they don't understand, because for them back home, Canada is the land of milk and honey, and you should be rich and you should support us. There was a young woman who came by herself as a refugee. Her husband at that time couldn't be found. He had been a soldier, and she was pregnant. And when they did the first ultrasound, it was detected that she had a boy, but the boy had only one arm. Back home, as a disabled kid, basically, he wouldn't have much value. So she was very, very depressed, because she really felt like she had no other option but to not have the baby. We just kept saying about how much possibility here is, that here it's not the end of the world. And I just actually met her not very long ago again. The boy is doing very, very well. The husband by now came. They had 2 more kids. They are doing really well here and contributing to this country. I keep learning and I keep growing. because people come from so many different cultures, from so many different countries. And if I get stuck on any one view of the world, I actually can't do my work. People have talked about me saving their lives. So yeah, that's probably the biggest, you know. So yeah, I would say that.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Road to Hope. To learn more about other programs offered at the Mennonite Center for Newcomers, please follow the information on your screen. They also have many opportunities for volunteers and for giving back. Thanks for watching.